Hello there. Before I dive into my tale about my troublesome mother-in-law, let me introduce myself. I am Sophia. This story will also feature my husband, Lucas, his father, Oliver, and his mother, Miranda. I'll be mentioning my mom and dad, but not as frequently, so I'll just refer to them as mom and dad. When I first met my future mother-in-law, she was actually a decent woman. I had been dating Lucas for a year before he introduced me to his parents. I ended up really liking them, and they felt the same about me. However, after a few meetings, Miranda started to act cold towards me. I was pretty confused about why she was behaving that way, so I decided to ask Lucas what the deal was. Lucas, I've been noticing that your mom has been a little cold to me recently. Did I do something? It's starting to freak me out. You need to tell me if it was something I did. I'll try to rectify my mistake. I think I know why she's been acting this way, but I don't want to tell you. It's very stupid and will break your heart. Come on, Lucas, just tell me. I'm a big girl and can handle whatever you're going to say. I really need to know what happened. It's not your fault. It's just that, well, my mom has some really ridiculous notions. She's acting strange because she doesn't like the fact that your parents are divorced. Now, that was something I never would have guessed. It was simply bizarre. I would have taken this as a joke if Lucas wasn't looking so serious and embarrassed. I racked my brain, and it finally clicked that he may be right. Miranda's cold behavior started after the day I told her about my parents' divorce. She was asking me about my family, and I told her that my mom and dad divorced over some infidelity issues. I probably overshared telling her the reason why they divorced, and she was the one who asked me that question. I found her curiosity a little weird, and now I know that caused her change in behavior. But I simply couldn't understand why this was a problem. I don't understand, Lucas. What does my parents' divorce have anything to do with this? What is your mom's problem? She just thinks that children from broken homes don't grow up well. Mom is pretty old-fashioned and believes that couples should stay together no matter what. Like I said, none of this is your fault. Mom is just weird that way. That sounds pretty unfair, Lucas. I had no idea Miranda would change her opinion of me just for this one thing. What should I even do now? You don't have to do anything, Sophia. She will eventually realize how wrong she is and change her thinking. You are an amazing woman, and I know you will win her over in the end. Lucas was wrong. I couldn't win her over. I did try my best to get back into her good books. I disregarded her flawed thinking and tried to establish a good relationship with her, but she never took the olive branches I extended. I tried for years because I really wanted her to like me. Lucas loved his family and had a great bond with them. I wanted to blend in with them too since I saw a future with him, but Miranda simply wasn't budging. I never confronted her because she never outright expressed her opinions to me. If Lucas had told her off in private, I wouldn't have known. I stupidly continued to try and get her approval and got disappointed every time. Years passed, and eventually, Lucas popped the question. It was a beautiful proposal, and of course I said yes. I went to my parents to give them the good news. Mom was happy, and we ended up having a great time at her place. However, things got a little weird when we went to my dad's house. He asked to see a picture of his family, and I proudly showed him a single picture. I had been with his mom and dad. My dad took one look at that picture and became very serious. I could tell what was wrong, but didn't ask because I knew he wasn't comfortable talking about it in front of Lucas. However, when I called him to know what was going on, he actually said, "Sophia, I don't know how to tell you this. It was a long time ago, and I still regret it a lot. I didn't want to talk about this with you, but I guess fate has other plans." Dad, what is it? You're freaking me out now. Why did you react so weirdly when I showed you Lucas's parents? Sophia, the woman in the picture, Lucas's mom. I know her. She is Miranda. She was my affair partner and the reason for my divorce. What are you saying, Dad? Yes, Sophia. I'm so sorry you had to know this. She moved away before my divorce, and I never saw her again. I had no idea my mistake would come back to haunt me. Your mom and I never told you much because we wanted to protect you. But I see that I'm getting my karma this way. My dad told me everything about their affair. Oliver and Lucas were completely in the dark since they moved away before my mom or dad had the chance to talk to them. So Miranda ended up having a blissful marriage, while my mom and dad got divorced. I was shocked to know the full story of my dad. Later, my mom also called me and confirmed everything. They even had proof that it was her. My mind was spinning with all the information that was planted in my brain. Now also, I didn't even know what to do with that information. I knew for a fact that Miranda was my father's affair partner. I also knew that Lucas and Oliver didn't know a thing. Now the problem was that I couldn't decide if I should tell them. They seemed really happy, and I was reluctant to destroy their life. No matter how rude Miranda was to me, I didn't want her marriage to end because of me. Well, turns out Miranda was a far worse woman than I had imagined. Only a week after I got to know everything, Miranda organized a grand dinner party at a posh restaurant to talk about our engagement. Lucas was excited to tell his extended family about our plans, and so was I. However, when we went to the dinner, I realized that it wasn't organized nice to celebrate us. This is what Miranda said when everyone arrived. "Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I have organized this party to discuss some important matters about my son. We are here to talk about their engagement, of course. Am I right, Miranda, dear?" "Yes, you are right, Oliver. So all of you must have heard that my son has finally proposed to his girlfriend and asked us for our blessings. He seems to be very happy with his decision, but sadly, I don't agree with her. In fact, I don't think I can give my blessing to this union." I was completely shocked by what Miranda said. I looked at Lucas, and he had the same expression on his face as well. We had absolutely no idea that Miranda had intentionally set up a grand party to declare me an unworthy candidate. Even Oliver was looking a little too surprised to know anything about her plans. My brain actually refused to process what I just heard. Lucas looked at his mom and said, "Mom, is this a joke? This is not funny at all. Do I look like I'm joking, Lucas? None of this is a joke. I simply don't want you to marry Sophia. She cannot be a part of our family." "That is Mom. Sophia is already family. I will marry her no matter what. You have no real reason to stop this marriage anyway. Why are you even being like this?" Lucas and I seriously had no idea why his mom was refusing to accept our engagement. We were a fairly happy couple, and I had no idea why Miranda hated me so much. I had tried so hard to be a good girlfriend, and I didn't know where this was coming from. I didn't have to wonder for long, though. Miranda gave me a nasty look and then turned to Lucas saying, "You cannot marry her, Lucas. She's the product of a broken marriage. We all know how messed up kids from these homes turn out. She's spoiled goods, Lucas. Why would you want to be with someone like that?" "Mom, what the hell is wrong with you? Sophia is not spoiled goods. Her parents' marriage has nothing to do with her. She's an amazing woman, and we are in love." "Oh God, here it is again, Lucas. What don't you understand? A woman like her doesn't know what love is. Look at her parents, Lucas. They couldn't even be together with all their love. What do you think Sophia has learned from them, Miranda? You're being extremely mean to Sophia." Lucas is right. She's a great girl for him. They have been together for 6 years now. What more does she have to prove? "You won't understand. Women like her, Oliver. I'm sure she will end up cheating on our dear son. I know that her parents got divorced because of infidelity. Any child that comes out of a marriage like that is bound to cheat on their partners. I'm only looking out for my son." I was stunned to see Miranda be so vile and uncaring towards me. I knew that she never liked me, but I had no idea she would go this far to insult me. She literally hosted a grand family dinner to humiliate me in front of everyone. She said the most disgusting things about me and my family, and I felt so embarrassed and insulted that I wanted to cry. The only saving grace for me was the fact that no one seemed to be agreeing with Miranda. Lucas and Oliver defended me while other family members looked super uncomfortable with what Miranda was saying. Not one person agreed with her. Still, Miranda continued to insult me until I couldn't take it anymore. I said, "You need to stop, Miranda. You're taking things too far. I always treated you with respect, and this is what you do to me. You went as far as to host a dinner to put me down. Why are you surprised, Sophia? I told you from the very beginning that I don't want you to be with my son. I also told you that I simply won't allow you to be a part of my family. Did you forget what I said?" "You were and are still being unreasonable, Miranda. I gave my all in these past 6 years with Lucas. I tried to be the best girlfriend to him and build a relationship with his family. I simply don't deserve this treatment or insult. I can't believe you would accuse me of being flawed because my parents are divorced. Why won't I, Sophia? People's home environment affects the way they see the world. I can bet you will turn out to be like your parents and ruin your marriage with my son. I won't allow you to hurt my son like that. Miranda was dead set about her opinion. She simply kept on insulting me and calling me names. She also repeatedly tried to manipulate my fiancé to break our engagement. I was already extremely humiliated after everything, and my patience was running thin. She had no right to insult my parents or me like that. Lucas tried his best to shut down his mother, but she was determined to get her point across. When I saw that she just wouldn't back down, I knew that I couldn't stay quiet anymore. I was already at the brink of raging at her, but reined in my anger instead. I just remained stoic and said, "You know what, Miranda? It's rich of you to preach about marriage and love when you have no respect for your own." "What the hell do you mean?" Miranda exclaimed. "I have the perfect marriage and never made my husband question me. I know the importance of making my marriage last and helping my son grow up in a normal home." "Oh, really, Miranda? I don't know about that. You talk about me being from a broken home, but you didn't talk about your broken past at all. Seems like you have forgotten what you had done in the past." "What? What are you trying to say, Sophia?" Miranda looked very nervous, and I knew I was right in my decision. I was doing the right thing in revealing what Miranda had done in her own marriage. To be honest, I had been thinking about it for a while, and keeping quiet was taking a toll on me. The fact that Oliver was such a good man also made me feel really guilty for keeping this secret from him. Miranda's maliciousness against me wasn't helping either, so I decided to just spill the beans while everyone was listening. She didn't bother to keep this conversation private, so why should I? I simply smiled at her and said, "Ah, I see you do have an idea of what I'm talking about. So tell me, Miranda, were you breaking up another couple's marriage while saving your own?" "Fun? What nonsense are you referring to, Sophia?" "I have done no such thing," Miranda retorted defensively. "You haven't, Miranda? So you don't remember breaking up my parents' marriage by cheating on your husband with my father?" Miranda looked shell-shocked when I said that. She hadn't expected me to know that she had cheated on her husband and broken up another couple's marriage. She had no idea that the man she cheated with was my father. Miranda's expression turned panicked, and her face went pale. The people at the table gasped, while Lucas and Oliver looked like they couldn't believe what they heard. Oliver was the first to crack and said, "What did you say?" "Miranda cheated on me with your father? I'm sorry you had to learn it this way, Oliver, but it's true. I only found out recently. My dad saw our pictures together and recognized her. Why didn't you ever tell me, Sophia? You have a happy family, and I didn't know if I should tell you. Miranda may have no problem breaking up homes, but I do. Sorry, I should have told you sooner." Lucas and Oliver processed the news while Miranda was slowly coming out of her shock. She was trying to find a way to make herself seem like the victim. I could see the wheels turning in her head as she panicked and tried to come up with something to say. She suddenly shrieked and said, "Guys, these are all lies. This is not true. Sophia is just making up lies to humiliate me. I've always been the perfect wife. I would never do that to my husband, Oliver." "Lucas, you have to trust me. Your reaction doesn't exactly give me that impression, Miranda. I've had my doubts about this for a long time. I would like to know what is going on." "I'm telling you, Oliver, this is all a lie. She's making things up. She's just mad that I wanted to protect my son from a useless girl like her." "Hold on to that thought, Miranda," Oliver said firmly. "Sophia, can you show me any kind of proof that you may have? I'm interested in this story of yours." "I do have some proof. I asked my dad to send me some of their conversations in case I decided to reveal the truth to everyone. I can show them if you want." Miranda's expression soon turned into horror when she realized that my dad had sent me pictures. She had no idea that I had proof of her cheating. Miranda had thought that moving away from my dad's city would place her far away from her nasty affair. She had thought that no one would ever find out about it. Well, her bad luck brought her kind of straight to her door. When Oliver asked to see the proof, I showed him. My father hadn't deleted any of their texts. They communicated over social media. When I asked him to send some proof, he dug up those texts and sent them to me. I opened those screenshots and showed Oliver. Oliver scrolled through the proof while Miranda panicked and fidgeted in her seat. Lucas looked stricken and wasn't even talking anymore. When Oliver finally put down the phone, he looked miserable. He said, "So, you've been cheating on me, Miranda? I gave you my undivided attention and loyalty for 30 freaking years, and this is what you've been doing behind my back. Oliver, you're not thinking straight. I haven't cheated on you. Those screenshots are fake. You shouldn't believe them. Things like that can be faked very easily, Sophia. I can't believe you would stoop so low to humiliate me and destroy my marriage." Whoa, Miranda, hold on right there. None of those screenshots are fake, and if Oliver still doesn't believe my words, I have more proof. Remember how you called my mother to boast about your affair with my dad? Yeah, Mom forwarded me that call recording too. I can show him if he wants. Then we will see who has been lying. You know what, Sophia? I would like to listen to that too. You can play that and put it on speaker. I want everyone at this table to listen. Guys, you really should have seen Miranda's face when Oliver suggested playing the recording. She clearly remembered what she had said to her mother and how she boasted about breaking up her marriage while she was riding off into the sunset with her husband. After Oliver permitted me, I looked at Lucas for his consent too. I felt bad, keeping him in the dark. I wanted to know if he was comfortable with Oliver asking. To my surprise, he nodded his head, signaling me to play the call recording. So I went ahead and played it for everyone to listen to. I won't go into the details of what she told my mom, but it was pretty bad. Miranda was truly a vile woman overall. If I had gotten hold of this recording before, I wouldn't even have bothered being nice to her, and I would have revealed the truth to everyone straight away. Oliver and Lucas also looked super pissed when they heard Miranda taunt my mother and say some horrible stuff. She had mentioned her name and identity at the start, so everyone knew it was her. Plus, no one could forget a whiny voice like Miranda's. It was clear that I was speaking the truth. Oliver looked at Miranda with pure hatred in his eyes and waited. Miranda was crying and stammered when she said, "Oliver, I can explain. It's not like that. It was a small mistake I made. I did everything to be a good wife." Tell me, how does cheating on your husband make you a good wife, Miranda? The recording was even worse than I thought. First, you knowingly cheated with a married man, then taunted his poor wife when they ended up divorcing for it. How can you even try to explain yourself after this? Oliver, please don't talk to me like that. I'm telling you, it was a one-time thing. I made a mistake, and it has never happened again. I'm not sure I believe that, Miranda. Even if it was a one-time thing, it is more than enough to reconsider our marriage. Miranda freaked out and started to cry even more loudly this time. Everyone at the dinner was now berating Miranda for being such a cheap woman. No one was listening to her excuses anymore. She kept begging Oliver to let it go since it was one time. When Oliver stopped responding to her, she switched to Lucas to get him on her side. "Lucas, you have to make your father understand. I haven't done anything like that again. Please don't make him break our perfect family like this." "How dare you call this a perfect family, Mom? What makes you think I'll support you and convince my dad? You dared to insult my fiancé because her parents are divorced, but it was you who caused it in the first place. I'm disgusted with you." No, Lucas, don't say that. I'm your mother. How can I disgust you? Your words and actions have pretty much changed whatever perception I had about you, Mom. I'm done. I'll make one thing very clear to you today. I will marry Sophia, and I will be in close contact with you. Even if Dad ends up staying with you, I don't want to be around you anymore. Miranda was now full of tears, crying her eyes out. The guests started to leave the restaurant since things were getting awkward. A few of them ended up comforting me because Miranda had been so cruel in trying to humiliate me. It seemed like everyone was extremely mad at Miranda for her antics. Lucas and I eventually left and came back home too. I was worried that he was mad at me for keeping this information from him. I said, "Lucas, I'm so sorry for not telling you sooner. I wasn't sure what to do. I've seen how much you love your family, and it was breaking my heart to cause problems. Sophia, it doesn't matter how much I love my family. If someone acts inappropriately or does something horrible, I'm going to cut them off. I won't tolerate bad behavior for anything. Still, I feel horrible for putting you in that situation. You can continue contact with Miranda despite everything. I won't mind either. You made everything public because my dad asked you to. I won't fault you for defending yourself either. Everyone needed to know. As for my mom, I would have gone into low contact with her even if you hadn't revealed her affair. I wasn't going to sit around and let her insult you like that. It was downright disgusting. I was relieved to know that Lucas didn't resent me for this. I didn't care what Miranda thought about me anymore, but I had some guilt that Lucas was caught between our problems. But my fiancé is the best and understands my position well. We made up and didn't hold any grudges against each other. Now, do you want to know what happened to Miranda? Well, I will tell you for sure. The woman who berated me for having divorced parents ended up getting divorced herself. That's right, Oliver divorced her. But in the next 6 months, she begged and pleaded with him, but nothing worked. Oliver was done for good. He filed for divorce within a week and ended up kicking Miranda out of his home. It was his ancestral property, so Miranda had no right to it. The cherry on top was the fact that infidelity is a serious offense in our state, so in the divorce, Miranda ended up with almost nothing. She's back to square one, struggling to make ends meet and working a low-wage job. She did drop by our place multiple times to beg for help. First, she tried to make us talk to Oliver about calling off the divorce. She even begged me for help and offered to call my parents with an apology. Lucas and I didn't appreciate her using us to fix her marriage, so we promptly kicked her out. She then returned several times to ask for money and was sent back each time. Lucas and I got married only 2 months back. By then, Oliver and Miranda were divorced and leading their own lives. Lucas and I talked and decided not to include his mom in the wedding. Frankly, none of us wanted her there, so we got married surrounded by close friends and family. She didn't even know about the marriage until we posted pictures online. That prompted her to send us a series of nasty texts, which then led her to be blocked from both our phones. So far, we have been enjoying the peace, and it looks like we won't be getting in contact with her again. In the end, despite the turmoil caused by Miranda's actions, Lucas and I found solace in each other's love and support. We stood united against the toxicity that had infiltrated our lives, determined to forge a brighter future together. As time passed, we focused on building our happiness, free from the shadows of Miranda's deceit. Our marriage flourished, filled with laughter, understanding, and unwavering devotion. Surrounded by the warmth of our loved ones, we embarked on new adventures, cherishing every moment of our shared journey. Meanwhile, Miranda's life took a different path, marked by the consequences of her choices. Despite her attempts to salvage what remained, she found herself alone, grappling with the aftermath of her betrayal. The echoes of her actions served as a stark reminder of the importance of integrity and accountability in relationships. As for Oliver, he navigated his newfound independence with grace and resilience. Though the scars of betrayal lingered, he remained steadfast in his pursuit of a life free from deceit and falsehoods. In the end, our story serves as a testament to the power of love, forgiveness, and the resilience of the human spirit. While the road may have been fraught with challenges, it ultimately led us to a place of peace where we could embrace the joy of a life lived authentically, guided by the bonds of love and trust. Thank you for taking the time to read this story. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel for more content like this. Your support means a lot to us. We would love to hear your thoughts on the story. How did you find it? Let us know in the comments below.